How powerful will Ahsoka Tano be in Season 2 of The Mandalorian? Yes, it is still unofficial that Ahsoka will be in Season 2, but there are rumors from very reliable sources that she will be. That said, I asked the community about her power level if she does show up, and I got over 200 comments. I have the privilege of sharing some of those great comments with you on the topic today. And the first up here is Nathan R. He states, I would say that she would just be about as powerful as her former master, Anakin Skywalker. And Nathan, I think that would be very fitting that she's grown to a similar power level as her former master. Though I think she's pretty close to that level in Star Wars Rebels, so I don't think that would be much of a bump up. Regardless, interesting idea. Let's move on to our next comment here, which is from Absolutely Studios, and they state, as wise as Master Yoda and more powerful than Mace Windu. But she isn't going to be thrown out of a window by an old man. And yeah, I don't think she's going to be thrown out of any windows either, but I do like your ideas here that she could be on a similar level of Yoda and Master Windu. Certainly she could be very powerful, but I think the problem with Ahsoka being very powerful is simply put that she would be too powerful for such a small scale show such as The Mandalorian. Also, just look at the power level of the Mandalorian himself. They certainly haven't gone over the top with his abilities. Din Djarin definitely gets beat up several times in just the first few episodes, and then he almost dies at the very end. So when I think about Ahsoka Tano showing up in The Mandalorian Season 2, I certainly don't see her being all-powerful, because that's not really necessary for this show. But let's move on to another comment here. Thank you for that, Absolutely Studios. Up next is Bogdan P, and they state, probably in her prime when she comes to her strength and powers. We've seen Ahsoka evolve through Clone Wars and Rebels, and I think by the time of The Mandalorian, she's wiser than any living Jedi, since she lived beyond each one in every movie. I also think that she's helping Luke during this time to find and save Force-sensitive children, and that's why she's probably going to be in Season 2. Bogdan P, you make a really good point here about her coming into her prime. Certainly in Star Wars Rebels, she was very athletic, but I think in The Mandalorian Season 2, we will see her add another level of wisdom. Her having gone through the Galactic Civil War, and however she did that, has no doubt made her a wiser Force user. And next up here we have a short comment by Magic Lamp, and they state, she defeated Maul, so she's on par with Kenobi. And Magic Lamp, I wouldn't read too much into her defeating Maul. I mean, Maul was very conflicted in Clone Wars Season 7. He really was trying to get her, tempt her to the dark side to join him so that together they could go and defeat Sidious, if that could even happen, which is really a good what if question. And I think it's because of that inner conflict, that's why she was able to defeat Maul. She was very focused and in the moment, and Maul was very conflicted, thinking about the future, and was defeated by a lesser duelist. So thanks for that, Magic Lamp. Interesting comment nonetheless. Up next, Jay Mikowski mentioned, I believe that we will see her use some type of force powers in The Mandalorian, but nothing insane. She will probably just lift something to show Din that she knows about the power that is so mysterious to him, to show that she could potentially train the child. And Jay Mikowski's been a long time commenter, so it's always great to see you commenting, Jay. Thank you. And I really like this comment. I like this idea that, hey, we may not see Ahsoka facing down Moff Gideon and the entire Imperial remnant that is with him. We may not get to see her full potential. It may just be a simple demonstration of her power to Din, as Jay is mentioning here, and her entire role might be preventing the child from falling to the dark side. This is something I've mentioned in my other videos. Because remember, Baby Yoda is around all of this violence. It's going to have a negative impact on him, and I think Ahsoka is very much going to be that individual that helps him get through that, overcome that, and not inevitably fall to the dark side. So thanks for that great comment, Jay. Let's move on to Jean G. She mentions, given she'd be close to her 50s, I'd expect her powers, battle abilities to be near, if not beyond, some of the Jedi Masters of her day. I think her wisdom, which is her greatest strength as an adult, would almost be Yoda-like given everything she's experienced. If she had stayed with the Order and had the Order not been destroyed, I think she would have been one of the most powerful Jedi Masters ever. 50 seems a little old, Gene, so I went and double checked, and hey, you're right, she'd be around 50. She'd be about 45 years old according to my calculations. I was thinking like late 30s, early 40s, so thanks for pointing that out. And I agree about the fact that had the Jedi not been destroyed, and had she stayed with them, she might have been one of the most powerful Jedi ever. And I like to think that she might have been able to lead them down a better path. So thanks for that great comment, Gene. But let's move on to Alex Stephenson. They state, Windu level with a lightsaber for sure. With her attempt to pull down Maul's ship in season 7, she's obviously going to be even more powerful in the Force. It's always hard to compare between Jedi though, harder than it is between Sith, because Sith generally all have access to the same powers, just different levels of them. So it's easier to rank a Sith, whereas Jedi often have more unique powers like Shatterpoint for Master Windu. And that's a great point, Alex. I hadn't really thought of the fact that Jedi, if you're going to rank Jedi, there's such a variety of different skills and abilities that they have that it certainly makes it very difficult. But like you said, she's definitely going to be good with her lightsaber or lightsabers. It would certainly be at the top of the class when it comes to that. Let's move on to commenter 1991 Obelisk. They state, well, let's see if we can piece it together. She deactivated the lightsaber of an Inquisitor. She has what remains of the daughter, the embodiment of the light side of the Force inside her. She's been taught by Anakin Skywalker and guided by Jedi Masters like Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi from an extremely young age. And now, especially after seeing the end of the Rebels series, she seems to have become someone who is completely guided by the will of the Force. I'm probably going to get a lot of slack for this, but if I had to guess, I'd say she would be more powerful than any Jedi we've ever seen animated or live action to date. I believe she will be on par with the Bendu from Star Wars Rebels series, but in Togruta form. I can't wait to see the route the series takes with all this. And that's an interesting point, Obelisk. She could potentially be the most powerful Jedi that we've seen. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm not totally sure if that would fit into the show. Having a character so immensely powerful could really overshadow Din Djarin and his somewhat small-scale struggle against Moff Gideon. Having a character like Ahsoka Tano reach the levels of the Bendu, which hey, I think could eventually happen, I'm just not sure if that would happen at age 45 for her, is nonetheless a very cool idea, so 1991 Obelisk, keep those comments coming. Let's move on to Medieval Man 9. He states in the comments, at this point in her life, she's learned everything she could from the Jedi, put herself through the crucible of not just the Clone Wars, but the immediate aftermath when the Jedi were being actively hunted. She has managed to learn even more about the Force and her role in the galaxy, if her outfit at the end of Rebels is anything to judge by, and has had several years since then to put everything into perspective. I would say that in terms of power, she's weaker than Luke, but in terms of knowledge and wisdom, she far outclasses him. And that's a really interesting point. None of the other commenters I've read so far have really compared her to Luke Skywalker at the time of Return of the Jedi, or this time during The Mandalorian, a few years, 5 years in fact, after Return of the Jedi. All the comments so far have compared her to Clone Wars era Jedi, and I think it might actually be a better choice to compare her to Luke. Luke is that new age Jedi. He has compassion and listens more to the will of the Force, I believe. As far as whether or not she's as good as Luke with a lightsaber, I'd have to say that they'd have to be more on the same level, just because she has so much more experience than him. Though again, I could be wrong with that. One thing we can definitely agree on is the fact that she has more knowledge and wisdom, and I think that's exactly why she didn't try to restart the Jedi like Luke did. And our next comment here, we have JW. They state, she's got so much more combat experience than anyone in the galaxy. She fought against the strongest Force users of her time. She's the only one still alive. All the places she's been and all the things she's seen, her connection to the Force through the daughter, all of this has her at a rare level. Luke would do good to look up to her for all the right reasons. Absolutely, Jay. This goes well with what Medieval Man 9 was saying, the fact that she is so wise, she's learned so much throughout her years, and that if she does end up meeting with Luke Skywalker, he would do very well to listen to her. Seeing how things turn out in The Last Jedi, he probably didn't heed what she says to him too much. But thanks for that comment, Jay. Next up here we have Corwin C. They state, she knows the danger of the dark side and she has seen the ignorance of the light side. She has always watched and quietly learned from everyone around her. She processes what she sees and fits it in with her own morals. She is probably in touch with the whole of the Force, more than every character before, other than say the Mortis, father, son, and daughter. That being said, however, I think she will be quiet, reserved, and we may not actually see how powerful she really is. And thanks for that comment, Corwin. It's a great way to end this video because certainly I always learn something going through these comments and attempting to respond to them. And I think what I've learned this time is that Ahsoka probably isn't going to be showing us her full potential. The rumors are saying that she's powerful like a Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi sort of way, but I really don't think that's going to be her role. I don't think she's going to be Gandalf swooping in to save Din Djarin from Moff Gideon. I think her main role is going to be a quiet one, as you suggest here. Her main deal is going to be helping Baby Yoda. So thanks for that, Corwin. Thanks for everybody, all 200 people who commented. I appreciate all the support. It's always amazing to have so many people share their thoughts with me. And as always, I'm Mike. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.